Reduce type 2 diabetes risk with healthy eating patterns. A groundbreaking discovery in the fight against type 2 diabetes. Can a simple change in diet make all the difference? Type 2 diabetes is a ticking time bomb, affecting millions of people worldwide and leaving a trail of devastating complications in its wake. But what if we told you that a simple change in diet could significantly reduce your risk of developing this debilitating disease? A recent meta-analysis of over 800,000 participants, presented at the European Association for the Study of Diabetes, EASD, annual meeting, reveals that adhering to 3 well-established healthy eating patterns can lower your risk of type 2 diabetes, regardless of your ethnicity. The study, led by PhD student and Gates Cambridge scholar Ms. Jai-Yi Lee, Professor Mita Forowi, and colleagues from the MRC Epidemiology Unit, University of Cambridge, UK, examined the Mediterranean diet, the Alternative Healthy Eating Index, AHEI, and the dietary approaches to stop hypertension, DASH. These diets have been widely recommended for their potential to reduce chronic disease risk and promote overall health. So, what did the researchers find? By combining the results of 33 published studies, they discovered that individuals who closely followed these dietary patterns had a significantly lower risk of developing type 2 diabetes. In fact, those who were in the top 10% for adherence to each diet had a 17% lower risk for the Mediterranean diet, a 21% lower risk for AHEI, and a 23% lower risk for the DASH diet. But here's where it gets interesting. The benefits of these diets didn't vary significantly across different ethnic groups, whether you're African, Asian, European, or Hispanic. The results suggest that adopting one of these healthy eating patterns can have a profound impact on your risk of developing type 2 diabetes. However, it's essential to note that the data was limited for non-European ethnic groups, highlighting the need for more research in these populations. In fact, over 1/3 of the data came from people of European descent, leaving a significant gap in our understanding of how these diets affect other ethnic groups. The study, Top 3 Eating Habits to Lower Your Diabetes Risk, backed by science. What if your plate could be your strongest defense against type 2 diabetes? Recent research reveals that the way you eat might hold the key to slashing your risk of this widespread condition, regardless of your background. But here's where it gets controversial. Not all diets are created equal, and some patterns of eating are far more effective than others. Let's dive into the science behind 3 powerful dietary strategies that have been proven to make a difference. And this is the part most people miss. These benefits aren't just for one group of people. They work universally, even across diverse ethnic populations. A groundbreaking study from the University of Cambridge analyzed data from over 826,000 individuals across 33 separate studies, focusing on 3 well-known dietary patterns. The DASH diet, originally designed to combat high blood pressure. The Mediterranean diet, rich in fruits, vegetables, and healthy fats. And the Alternative Healthy Eating Index, AHEI, which emphasizes balanced nutrition. The results? Adhering to the DASH diet was linked to a 23% reduction in type 2 diabetes risk. The Mediterranean approach cut it by 17%, and the AHEI diet lowered the risk by 21%. These numbers aren't just impressive, they're actionable. But how do these diets work their magic? The DASH plan prioritizes whole foods, limits sodium, and encourages lean proteins, while the Mediterranean style leans into olive oil, fish, and plant-based meals. The AHEI adds nuance by rewarding choices like whole grains and limiting red meat and sugary drinks. What's fascinating is that these benefits remain consistent across African, Asian, European, and Hispanic communities. This suggests that no matter where you're from, adjusting your eating habits can significantly impact your health. So why does this matter? Type 2 diabetes is a global health crisis, and these findings offer a universal solution that doesn't require expensive medications or invasive procedures. Yet a question lingers. Could other factors like genetics, physical activity, or even gut health play a role in how effective these diets are for individuals? The study's authors argue that dietary changes are accessible to all, but critics might ask whether socioeconomic barriers or cultural preferences limit real-world adoption. We'd love to hear your thoughts. Do you think these diets could work for everyone, or are there gaps in the research? Share your experiences or opinions in the comments below. After all, when it comes to your health, the most important diet is the one you can stick with. And these three might just be the perfect starting point. Reduce type 2 diabetes risk with healthy diets. Imagine a world where simply changing your diet could significantly lower your chances of developing type 2 diabetes. A recent study from the University of Cambridge has unveiled some compelling evidence that supports this idea. The research indicates that various healthy eating patterns can effectively diminish the risk of type 2 diabetes. And this holds true for individuals from all ethnic backgrounds. The researchers conducted a thorough examination of 33 different studies, which collectively involved a staggering 826,000 participants. Their findings revealed that diets emphasizing the intake of fruits, vegetables, and whole grains can be beneficial for everyone, regardless of their ethnic identity. This is a crucial point, as it suggests that these dietary habits can be universally promoted across diverse populations. Interestingly, the study highlighted three specific dietary approaches: the Mediterranean diet, the Alternative Healthy Eating Index, AHEI, and the dietary approaches to stop hypertension, DASH. Each of these diets was shown to have a positive impact on reducing the risk of type 2 diabetes. In fact, individuals who adhered most closely to these diets, specifically the top 10% of participants, exhibited a significantly lower likelihood of developing this condition. To put this into perspective, type 2 diabetes occurs when the hormone insulin fails to function effectively, leading to elevated blood sugar levels. Managing this condition often involves lifestyle modifications, such as adopting healthier eating habits and increasing physical activity, which can help lower blood sugar levels. The review found that following the DASH diet could reduce the risk of developing type 2 diabetes by an impressive 23%. Meanwhile, the Mediterranean diet was associated with a 17% reduction, and adherence to the AHEI was linked to a 21% lower risk. What's particularly noteworthy is that the advantages of these diets did not seem to differ among various ethnic groups, including African, Asian, European, and Hispanic populations. The researchers concluded that this study reinforces the notion that the Mediterranean, AHEI, and DASH dietary patterns can effectively lower the risk of type 2 diabetes across a wide range of ethnicities. They emphasized that these diets can be advocated for all communities, making them a valuable tool in public health initiatives. These groundbreaking findings are set to be presented at the upcoming European Association for the Study of Diabetes, EASD, conference in Vienna this September. But here's where it gets controversial. While the evidence is compelling, some may argue about the practicality of implementing these diets universally. What do you think? Are these dietary changes feasible for everyone? Or do you believe there are barriers that could prevent certain populations from adopting them? Share your thoughts in the comments.